Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video and kind of an update about some things. So obviously this is my London book and I've had it in this green flip book because I simply had it on hand and I wanted to use it. Now I've decided I don't like that. It does not go with the British theme at all. So I thought, well, red or blue, I've decided on red, so I have ordered a new one, but it hasn't come yet. So for now, I'm still working on this one, but when it arrives, I'll switch everything out and put it in the red one that I like better. Secondly, I thought this was going to be very different, this particular layout. Originally, I had these two items also planned for this page and not this photo. This photo actually shows, get a close up there, of when I passed through the UK border, got my passport stamped. It shows that I was at Heathrow. It shows the date. I love it. So I want to use that. So I swapped that in. Now I don't have enough room for all of these, but I also am going to try to find a way to use this bag. I did not include it at first when I designed this album of how I wanted things to go because I didn't think I could do it in a flip book, but I'm thinking about it and I want to give it a try. Right now, my best guess is that I can attach a thin strip of paper over here, cardstock, punch holes to match the page and insert it just as I would anything else. I don't know if that's actually going to work, but I'm willing to try it. All right, I have taken the flip book apart, at least partially. I wanted to take all the other pages out, but then still have the prongs showing here with these pages in it. And I can use one of the other pages as a guide for when I'm punching the holes and making sure I have enough distance. I need to figure out how to do the gutter here because if you'll notice, I'll take this one out. There's this part, kind of which ends the page, but then there's also an extra part where the holes go. So I have to make sure that I line it up so that this relatively matches, you know, the width of the page here when I flip it. So really, I just need to add on something to get me to this width. I'm thinking just cardstock, which I know I have, and hopefully I can just pull it out of my scraps, attach it, punch some holes, and be good to go, but we'll see what happens. I found this strip of red cardstock in there. It's fairly thick, so I like that. It feels a little bit more sturdy. And it would allow me to overlap the bag a little bit. I can push that in right up to that line. So it would hold that in place, plus I can make the holes. I'm thinking I will attach it with red line tape just to make sure that it's super duper sturdy, but then I have to be very careful because once you put that on, it's not coming off. Or if it does come off, it's going to rip the bag to shreds, which I don't want. But right now I'm thinking that's my game plan. All right, I've cut this down so that it's 8 inches tall. This bag is actually 9 inches, but it's got this little barrier here where I don't want that completely attached. So I'm just going to 8 inches, the same as the width of the pages. I've put down some red line tape. I have not lifted up the cover yet, so it isn't sticky, but my goal is to get this about halfway. So right about in the middle there, width-wise, so that will give me my gutter, and then I'm going to piece together, this is the same cardstock, but I didn't have another full piece. I'm going to piece together 2 of these to make the same on the back because nobody's going to see that it's not a full strip once it's in the album. But I'll do that just to reinforce it for turning purposes, and then hopefully I can put it in the album and I'll be good to go. I have the one side taped down. Now I'm going to do the other side here. There we go. I actually need to snip a tiny little bit off the top there. Hopefully it'll let me peel it up. Oh good, it does. Now, if this doesn't work out, this is the only bag I have, but since I had not intended to use it originally anyway, if something happens to it, oh well, I'll be sad, yes, but I'll make do, but I'm really hoping it works out. All right, I have this part attached. Now I'm going to line up the holes on the page protector to make sure they match. And in order to punch the holes, I'm going to use my handy dandy crocodile tool, and I will use the 3/16 hole so that I have enough room to get all of the prongs through there. ta-da, I figured out how to do it. It's in the book, everything's put together. You can see a strip of it here, but that's why I chose red, so it would match. But then look, when you flip, that gutter piece is totally under here, so you'll just see the back, which is perfect. All right, so it took me a little bit longer to put that together than I anticipated. So I don't know that I'm gonna get both this side done plus what I wanted to go in the bag. I had some ideas. I don't know that I'm going to get all that done, but I'll try. We'll see how it goes. On the inside, I have a map of the tube that I want to put in there. And then I had an idea also to take this picture that I thought I was going to use and do a 3x8 insert inside the bag with a little tab or something that you can pull out. Use this with some journaling. So I will work on that next. All right, I have printed out my map of the tube system. And really why I want this is because when we left Heathrow, we took the underground. I had told my daughter, you know, that's the easiest way to do it. There's an express train that goes right from Heathrow to the center of town. We can get off at King's Cross and make that our first stop. And it worked out really well. So I love it that you can see right here is Heathrow. And you just kind of follow the blue line around and come up to King's Cross, which is right there. And I haven't decided yet if I want to put little arrows or enamel dots or something. I'm not sure. But for now, I at least wanted to just get it printed. So I did it on a lighter weight cardstock so it wouldn't be super heavy. I didn't want it to add a lot of bulk and that it would peek out just a little, which it should. Let's try it and see. Yep. And then what I want to do is put a tab right here on the side in this empty space that says pull, more info, something, I don't know, but I'm going to attach a tab there so that it's easily grabbable for anybody looking at the album. I went through my tabs and labels just to see what I had, and I actually found something different than I anticipated. I really like this one for the map. However, it's too big. If I use it as is, it's going to be huge. It's going to cover up Heathrow, which I don't want. So I think what I'm going to do is trim down these ends because I really don't need them that large. And then I can kind of do it sort of up here off center. And I thought I would be able to write on it or stamp or something. I can't do much with it since it's a transparency. I think I'll just leave it like that. I think it'd be pretty obvious if this is sticking out that you're supposed to take something out of there. So I think I'm just going to cut it off and call it good. After I cut the ends off, I realized I could just tuck this under the back and then you wouldn't even see any of that. So I decided to do that. I liked just this peeking out. So I have the rest of it kind of behind and I just used my mini stapler to put in 2 staples. And now I have a tab and it will slide in the bag like that. And I like that you can see this here with that poking out. It's clear something is supposed to come out of there. And I love that it just the black polka dots are peeking out. It's a nice piece of visual interest in contrast to the flag. And then there's a little black here and my journaling will be in black. So it'll work in well with both sides. For the 3x8 insert, I've already picked out this tab. That was also in there. It's not the same blue, but I like it, and mostly what you'll see is the white sticking out anyway. If for any reason I decide I don't like the coloring on it, I can just use this as a template to make another one. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm planning to use it as is. I've also grabbed out my pocket here, or envelope, that has all of my 3x8 themed travel card and insert things. So I'm going to go through here. Oh, I bent this. Oh, this is actually copier paper. I should mention that sometimes when I buy digital files, I print these out on copy paper first, just to make sure I like them, that they'll do what I want as I'm designing before I waste cardstock on them. So I'm guessing that's what I did here. But I will go through all of these. Like these are already cardstock. I bought them as is. But I will find one that works to add my photo to it, this one, and then I'll go from there. In the pile of 3x8 options, I've decided I like this one, and it already is on cardstock, so that's great. But I've decided I'm going to cover up part of it. I don't need the part that says Explorer, Destinations, and Date. I don't really like it. So I think I'm just going to take the photo and cover it up like that. And then you won't even know that was there. I could even trim off a little bit here, which I might do because that would give me more journaling space. So I might make this more square, I think. But so I'll have that on there. And then I've decided I don't like the blue after all. So what I'm going to do is use this as a template. I'm going to use this paper that I found that's black with some little arrows on it and use that instead. I decided to cheat a little bit because it would be faster. I just cut off a strip of this paper and then I used my corner rounder. I have the old Creative Memories one. I just used the corner rounder to make those, and that's all I really need to do. So that's done. Now I just have to attach everything. Okay, I've attached the photo and the little tab that I made. And I did cover the back with white cardstock. It had a different pattern on the back that I didn't like, and I didn't want that showing. So I just cut it to fit. Now I'm going to put in a little mini staple right there in the middle to make sure it stays. I did also put mono adhesive under there just to make sure, but a staple doesn't hurt. And then we'll take this and we'll slip it right in there. And now I have two things that could be pulled out of the bag as interactive elements. Plus, this still turns. So this one is done for now. The video's gotten long, so I'll do this page separately, but I'm so happy that this bag worked, and it means another thing done for London. Thanks for watching.